Let's go. USA, USA,
Let me
USA.
Congratulations on the huge win. Massive win. All respect due to the US. They played unreal. They really deserve that win. You know what? It was a great game regardless. And it's one of those where you got to give credit to the team that won. It's not like it was just Canada that screwed themselves over. The US played amazing, top to bottom. Their forwards, their defense, the coaching was great. Mike Sullivan, didn't expect that from him, especially. And Connor Hellebuck shut the door, and it really mattered. So props to the USA. Take that W. See you guys in the final. That's a big W for you guys.
Defensive masterclass.
Yeah.
You guys
second half of the game.
Oh, 100%. And I think this is one of those games where you see the coaching and you're like, that's a huge difference. Because John Cooper got out-coached completely. His adjustments were too late. He has this Tampa bias where Brandon Hagel, Cirelli, and Point should not be on the ice with 3 minutes left. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That's not hard.
Why is the Tampa Bay line staying together all night, Ryan?
They were awful all night.
And we questioned that last game against Sweden, right? Where Reinhardt wasn't even out there on the 3-on-3 with the last 10 minutes of the game. It's ridiculous. You have Cirelli out there who, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's okay, but he's...
No, he was bad today.
He was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, horrible. I think.
Can I just add something on the Canada front? Why did Brad Marchand, Ryan, you were at the game, Carly, why did he only have 4 to 5 minutes after 40 minutes? And Mitch Marner had 16 minutes.
It was ridiculous.
Wasn't Brad Marchand good in the Sweden game? I thought he was good. Why are you putting him in a fourth role with Sam Bennett and whoever?
Yeah, and he was a stud this game too. He was the only guy that
he was buzzing.
He was one of the only guys that was buzzing.
He had the puck more than McKinnon did, I think. And that McDavid after the first. And it was like, why is he getting 5 minutes, John Cooper?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I think I should play something real quick.
No, I heard enough of this.
The goal song goes hard.
I don't think you heard it enough.
I think they played it 5 times, Carly, at the end of the game, didn't they? Yeah. I heard it like 5 times.
Repeat at the end of the game.
This is like repeat.
But you can't get more. You can't get more American than that song. And I mean, me, Carly, the fellow Americans, let's go. I think Canada is hurting with some of their personnel decisions.
Yep.
So you're telling me Evan Bouchard wouldn't have been a suitable replacement for Cale Makar?
You know what? Mexico or something.
I didn't want Evan Bouchard on the team originally because Cale Makar is Evan Bouchard, but does everything better without making mistakes. When you're missing a dynamic guy like Cale Makar, you need to replace him with someone dynamic. Like I'm a huge Thomas Harley fan. I think Thomas Harley is really good, but the difference is huge. And I think Devon Toews had way too much on the weight on him. This guy was on the ice. I don't know what his minutes were, but he was on the ice pretty much half the game, I think.
And the U.S. just had to roll deep pairs, rolled lines.
And we couldn't do that.
Even without Tkachuk in the third period, they were still rolling out there.
And
but I don't think the Tkachuks were present tonight.
They had a really good 5-6 minutes, and then they were invisible.
They did as much as McDavid did, which was like
Canada did a really good job to neutralize them on the ice.
And
Austin Matthews, I don't think was as good tonight as he was the other night.
Matthews was bad. And everyone booed him. The second he touched the puck, it was just constant boos for him, and I loved it.
Isn't that the big surprise this game? The superstars failing to show up. McDavid has that dazzling goal. He disappears. McKinnon, Crosby, the Tkachuks. We know Matthew Tkachuk maybe nursing an injury. Just didn't have the star players there. You're missing Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar. What would the game look like with those two individuals in the lineup? Would they be standout players? Because it was a defensive game and a neutral zone game where maybe some of those special defenders could have drove play. Because the forwards weren't doing it tonight on either side.
Please pin Daniel's comment here. Holy, Marner overrated. Disaster class.
Yeah.
I think
that's the first thing Kirby said when we hopped on here before we started the live stream.
Cody, he back passed on the empty net, and then he doesn't skate back towards the empty net where he could have maybe made a play on the save on there. And he just quit.
They're defending that clown.
Look, I think because I was watching the U.S. and I felt like I was watching the Panthers in last year's playoffs, Game 7.
Yeah,
except without the 37,000 damn icings
or the pin to the wall.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, Carly's the season ticket holder here. She's in the rink way more than any of us here, and she could probably attest to the USA playing very similar to what we see from Florida all the time. like especially last year in that cup run.
Yeah, I would say it was similar. I think I'm losing my voice. It sounds like rusty.
So let's kind of go into like the beginning of the game, kind of what started it all. Let's go ahead and share. Let's see here, and then you guys can Ryan and Carly kind of share your experience there being at the arena, and what happened when the fight started.
Well, I would say two of our most important guys that had like the biggest impact in our first game are sitting in the box.
That was a good trade-off. I was surprised.
Terrible. Like they didn't have good guys in the box like we did.
Bennett,
I was like,
wow. Rico for both the Kachucks and JT Miller any day. I'll take that.
And that was a big win that both Kachucks came out and it was still 0-0. But then right after that, that's when Canada scored. But they were fortunate to not have one goal there or lose that momentum. But then it happened right after, which was kind of ironic because they came out of the box. That was weird. So Caesar, your question was what started it. I don't know if you guys saw it. Obviously being at the rink, you probably have a better vantage point than us. But they showed Matthew Tkachuk was talking to Hagel like in warm-up, Caesar. Like it was, that's when they were talking, even before the face-off dot, right, Ryan?
And it doesn't surprise
and
me.
they have
That's
history,
something because maybe both teams had this planned, because PK Subban, I believe, on the intermission said that, and Mark Messier were like, this happened in '96 too. This was the start of USA becoming, having a deep roster and their players coming in and becoming better and better as a country. So this started in '96. So for them to, because it's been how long since they played each other?
Since 2016.
2016.
Yep. World Cup of Hockey.
So,
that's going way back though. We're going back a couple
right? So yeah, no, I totally agree. I think but I didn't expect
I think it might have been some
three fights. That was insane.
It might have been some Matthew Tkachuk stuff off the ice with the media. I think it kind of started there.
Ryan and Carly, so you guys said that you guys literally didn't sit down after the national anthem.
No,
So
it was four
first-
minutes had come off the clock before anybody started to sit down. So it was anthem and everyone was still standing, and then they dropped the puck. We were still standing, and then the fighting happened. It was about 4 minutes had come off the clock before.
And then 5 minutes later, McDavid scores.
And that goal, that building was electric.
What a goal!
And all my Edmonton friends,
you want to talk about me about cussing out the damn TV? What the hell are we doing?
He embarrassed y'all.
He didn't even do anything. We stared at him. We just stared directly at him.
So Charlie McAvoy is allergic to any contact there, and then after that, he just starts killing McDavid.
And then he changed the game with that hit on McDavid.
And he hit him again. Cody, should that have been a penalty in the corner when he punches in the face? Oiler fans are going to be complaining about that all night.
No, you know what the problem was? It was like the second, it was even when the U.S. got a power play, they were not making anything a 5-on-3. There was at least 3 or 4 the U.S. got away with on Canada's first power play that were like blatantly obvious. And then on the U.S. power play, Canada took at least 2 infractions where it's like, you should call that 100% time. But the ref...
Like in on the hands and stuff, Ryan?
Yeah.
Oh, cross checks, interference, trips, all of it was going on. Behind the scenes, on the play, it was bad. And like,
his reffing today, Wes McCauley takes another hit in the game.
Actually, no, he didn't ref today.
Oh, sorry, that was earlier game, right?
It was Johnny Murray.
Sorry, my apologies. Earlier game.
I think it may have been Chris Rooney, but I'm not sure.
Was it?
Chris Rooney was game 1.
Yeah.
It was Chris Rooney, Wes McCauley.
Oh, Chris Rooney was Wes McCauley game 1.
But
Chris Rooney was Panther phobic, by the way. He hates us. He would not give a call to Lundell and Luce. They were getting mauled the entire game.
Oh, my bad. It was John Herbert, Gord Dwyer.
But Cody, what did you think of the reffing tonight?
I thought it was fine. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a big.
They called one penalty on each side.
Yeah.
Well, I think they called 2.
Pretty much the whole game.
No, I think we had one more power play than you guys.
Yeah, but I wasn't upset at any of the calls. There were penalties.
What about Sam Bennett that almost decapitated Eichel if you would have hit him in the middle of the
ice? We said that.
Cody, did you miss that? Would have been murder.
I mean, I saw him like I saw him like
I saw like, that's
I don't know how Eichel saw him out of the corner of his eye.
I saw it. I'm like, thank God he missed. But
Well,
in terms of it, it would have been 5 minutes and out of there.
It would have been something.
But reporting on Matthew Tkachuk, they're not concerned with his injury. It seems to be a groin pull. as he was like indicating it on the bench. And with USA, and this is a big caveat, with USA winning today, they can rest him. So he's probably not even playing the next game.
He won't play until Thursday.
Yeah, but now I have to cheer for the States to beat Sweden. So Team America for a game. Woo.
Canada and Finland have the fate in their own hands because they played the afternoon game.
Yeah.
And if they go to overtime or something like that, then that's all out of their hands.
I mean, well, it's just
right. A desperation game.
Because here's the thing: USA only gave Canada a taste of what Finland could bring to them on Monday. Because Finland's the exact same way, and the problem is with Canada, and I think another thing is they don't have many guys that do well in tight spaces. Like McDavid, as great as he is, he's okay, not the greatest. Crosby's elite at it. McKinnon, I'm not sure.
Really bad game.
But Cody, you talked about
nobody would call out.
I want to mention Rowensky's excellent game. He's had an excellent tournament. Finland doesn't have those defense.
Yeah.
So if Canada gets it low there along the boards, they're not losing battles to McAvoy.
But is Canada gonna get it low? Because that was the thing. They were not putting pucks on net tonight. They were always overpassing. And McDavid, when he had it in space, tried a little stick handle and nothing was there.
All the battles came from the corner, and I know me and Ryan disagree on this, but I thought Doughty did a great job through 40 minutes. And Slavin, Rowensky, McAvoy after that goal, they were strong along the wall. And there's a lot of battles along the corners there, Ryan. And the defense were coming out with it.
Doughty good in the corners, but that was it. He kept turning the puck over constantly. And he was
no team was cycling on any team, Ryan, that I saw.
No, but also Doughty the entire game was a step behind. He's extremely slow. Like you could tell, he looked like he was coming back for something. He was
Marner's excuse because he can't get to pucks.
Well, Marner has no excuse. That was absolutely pathetic. Sam Reinhart, him and McDavid, they've got to change it up. I'm sorry. I know they did in the third, and they switched McKinnon and McDavid, and they put McKinnon with Rhino and then Marner, but you cannot have Marner in a role like that. Will it be different against the Finns because it's a different style of hockey? Sure, but like if we ever play the States again, like you can't have that embarrassment play out.
They ran Stone, Crosby, and McDavid together. It didn't give too much of a boost.
Yeah, but Canada's got to be better along the boards, especially in the D zone, because Finland will eat your lunch on the boards. Because look, Barkov will do it, Lundell will do it, and Luosterainen will do it.
Like in their own zone, yeah.
Yeah, and then Granlund.
Finland played a lot better today, so
yeah,
they're going to bring their lunch pail.
Yeah, like it's the same thing. I think Sweden, like I'm not too worried about Sweden, to be honest. I just think they're way too soft.
They're so soft.
Well, and US can set up a final.
It's Petey. It's
something happened in the first game, Cody.
Lindholm, soft.
Yeah, and I think another underrated thing about Sweden is they're in the middle of a big transition because this is the first time they've been on best and best. They don't have Lundqvist. They don't have the Sedins.
I was going to say the Sedins, yeah.
Like heck,
you have Forsberg, Sundin.
Yeah, you don't have Lidstrom. Like Hedman's still there, but question for Die Hard. Question: who will replace Matthew Tkachuk on the top line? They probably put Brady up there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Kreider will be in, and if I probably move up Larkin
because especially with the way he played today,
he's playing well.
He started on like the fourth line or something stupid, or third line at the bottom.
For Cody to take all W's from this,
Kyle Connor on the fourth line is a crime.
But Kyle Connor hasn't been good.
W's from this tournament, he needs USA to win, and he needs Chris Kreider to have a big moment, as he calls.
If Chris Kreider scores against Sweden, it's just
me and Nick aren't going to be around. It's just Cody hosting everything.
It's just gonna be a clean sweep. Like I'm gonna be like Carly is on Carter Verhaeghe. I'm just gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna back it up.
We'll have to hear for a whole year to the Olympics.
Oh no, nothing. Like maybe till free agency.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Like, but in terms of the game, it's just no one for Canada outside McDavid for one shift showed up.
It was bad.
And Connor Hellebuck,
he was good
once again. Like, given Finland is decimated, is this a bad loss for Sweden? Yes, it is. It's very bad. It's very.
They had every fate in their hands today to win a regulation game.
Because those two countries, hockey-wise, cannot stand each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Hedman called Finland little brother today, or
yeah.
And the line it was like, "We're the big brother now." Like,
Line they said say something nice about Sweden. He said I have nothing nice to say.
Barkov didn't say nothing. Lusto didn't say nothing.
Yeah, they
Look,
walked by. Lusto
they
walked
even
by.
asked a question about what player would you take from each country, right?
Yeah, it was
A lot of Sweden said Barkov.
And Finland was like, I don't want nobody.
No one.
Like,
Lundell, Luosterainen, Barkov, Mikkola, none of them said Forsling.
was Anton Lundell the best player today, Carly and Ryan, of all players out on the ice for 4 teams? I could argue that.
No, I'd say that.
Yeah.
Slavin
Did
is
you see
close.
a stat line that I put out there? I felt like giving him an A+, but Cody didn't give Matthew Tkachuk an A+ the other night, so I had to just give Lundell an A, but like chef's kiss. Like, that was unbelievable. They were showing highlights of him, Ryan, on Sportsnet tonight. And
That's unbelievable too. That's first of all, that's the best third line center in the NHL, and it's not even close. He's better than some teams.
Should be the damn second line center.
He's better than team's second line center, and I could make an argument he could, in a couple of years he'd be a first line center on a couple teams too.
Neri, I agree with you there. Sweden doesn't have any good center. Where's Petey? If you want to talk about best player in the tournaments, talk about the worst. Elias Pettersson. What the heck is going on?
I thought they should have traded PD, not JT Miller.
And if you're getting a better package, Cody, and it's not fixing things in the room.
I don't know what the hell happened to that man. I really don't.
Did you guys notice him out there on the ice? Because sometimes we miss stuff on TV. Did you guys notice him today?
Maybe his talent went when he shaved all his head. Maybe all his hair was his talent, basically.
He had a couple good plays in the first, but then he was invisible after that. Like I thought he was gonna have a good game, and then he went.
Like he had the puck, but then he would turn it over and lose battles with it coming through the neutral zone. And he's trying to like dance 3 guys. I'm like,
that guy needs Paul Maurice to put him into shape.
You know what my favorite stat is of the night. Let's see.
Let's kind of look at the stats here. So
Austin Matthews, Jack Hughes, Mitch Marner, Nathan McKinnon, all combined for 0 points, and Jordan Binnington had 1 point.
Great. He can't stop a shot going 5-hole, and the States know that. They just kept shooting 5-hole, and it worked 2 of them. But hey, at least you got an assist.
Draws were pretty even, 0 for 1, 0 for 2 on the power play. Hits, block shots. This was about as even as a game as you can get.
Cody, you didn't see my tweet after 40 minutes. It was very even with the numbers.
I'm trying to see this stat line.
Yeah. No, I think my favorite thing was I saw the deserve to win-o-meter.
Oh, Canada won that by far, right?
Yeah, but what the hell? Oh, so that's just each individual shift.
Yeah, this is in the individual shift. So, yeah.
Go to Adam Fox's shifts real quick, because he only had 14 minutes of ice time.
Adam Fox was not good.
I don't see things that our community does from him, Ryan. So you're saying that seeing him live today? I just don't.
This year has significant decline in my defenseman.
I'm very unwell. So Charlie's physicality factor.
I think he has Ranger syndrome.
I don't see him making mistakes or looking awful. I just don't see like great things from top 5 defensemen in the NHL.
And that's a guy who won a Norris over Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes.
But he deserved that Norris.
Yeah, and that's something like what happened to this guy.
I think he fell off right along with the Rangers did too.
It's
Panther syndrome when we play these teams in the playoffs. What's going on here?
But I want to talk about our defense on Team Canada first. Like what you were saying earlier, where it was like Canada every year or every international tournament since I've been alive is they build their defense off big, tough, physical guys who just lock down defense, and they have one dynamic guy. And when Cale Makar was out, it was the biggest loss for the team. And I'd make the argument, if you could lose anyone on Team Canada, Cale Makar would be the last guy to want to lose. I would rather play a game as Team Canada without McDavid than without Cale Makar.
Yeah, I'm a huge Makar guy. So are you, Ryan. Yeah. I just think you've seen it in playoffs, Conn Smythe winner, Stanley Cup winner. You really question how much of a difference he'd make. I know the Shea Theodore injury, but the Makar thing before puck drop, where they don't have Harley in full practice because they're not allowed to have it by tournament rules, but they were allowed to add him, which was big for Canada. So you're not adding forwards playing D or playing 5 D-men or something like that.
For sure.
But yeah, you kind of wonder where that would be. And I still, even with USA winning here, Cody, and being 2-0 and having a great tournament so far, I think Quinn Hughes takes over the top because of the power play in different situations like that and the minutes in certain big moments. I don't, as good as Werenski's been in a lot of the American defensemen, Quinn Hughes will step up in a big moment and grab the game.
Yeah.
Cody, you watch Quinn Hughes
One
a lot.
element that's on there, I think. I don't
What
know if
happened?
you agree.
You watch Quinn Hughes a lot. Like, you probably know most out of everyone.
I mean, yeah. He's the second best defenseman in the NHL, and it's not even close.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
think
he can beat guys one-on-one, right? Like in best on best.
Look, the only thing that's a detriment to him is the size. That's about it.
for sure.
Yeah, but
Like-
you're not talking about a Canada defense here.
5'11".
You're not talking about Canada defense here, Ryan, with like Shea Weber and Drew Doughty in his prime and Duncan Keith and all that. So I think Quinn Hughes.
Y'all are a far away from that. Far
Chris
away.
Get Chris Pronger out there.
The
I'm in-
U.S. The
I'm-
U.S. currently are closer to that defense than Canada currently.
You know why they said Canada lost in the Olympics? I don't want to get away off track, but 2006 because they said they were missing Scott Niedermayer.
Oh, I believe it.
That would have been pretty good. That'd have been a lot of
Yeah.
damn help.
I lost quarterfinal. That's what the coach said.
No, for sure. But it was just too much to overcome because even the power play looked totally different without Kale there.
I think Morrissey did a good job, and that's the guy I would have picked. Ryan, is that the guy?
Oh,
you
no,
would-
I would pick. No, I agree with who they picked. Put what's it called, Morrissey there, and I there's no one else to choose, to be honest, because like Doughty could not do shit.
We got Vince in the chat, and we got Matthew in the chat.
Matthew in the chat. Sorry, Matthew, trying to get you up. Matthew's looking good on that bet right now.
Hey.
It's not over.
Right?
It's not over.
Hey, Tuna, can I get a raw in the chat, please? Thank you.
Tuna thinks I was yelling at him earlier about some line change with the D. I was like, I'm talking about Marner, Tuna.
No,
Stop.
oh yeah, in our other group chat on Twitter, Kirby has like a friend of his that he went to college with, and him and the other guy's a Leafs fan, and him and Kirby got into it because one guy thought Reinhart was the problem, and the other guy thought and Kirby thought Marner was the problem.
I said
in
it's not a debate. It's not an argument.
In actuality, neither helped the situation.
Not at all.
Look, we got Vince with a raw. We got Parrish with a raw. Let's go. And then Parrish has asked a pretty good question. Who's helped their stock with these games and who has hurt their stock? Hurt their stock, Elias Pettersson.
Pedersen. Helped
Pedersen.
Lundell.
Lundell
Yeah, I'm surprised Lindell.
Lundell.
and Issa Lindell, like Lindell.
Lindell, yeah, Lindell.
People are going to him a lot more. Now he's playing first pairing on Finland on the decimated roster, and I don't think he's been bad at all. I think he's been really good.
And
I'll go Cody's guys, Raymond and Larkin right now.
after today, Kevin Lankinen.
Hurt
The down arrow.
down arrow.
No, help their stock.
What?
What?
Lankinen?
You
I didn't
should have
watch
watched
it.
the game. They were bad.
Oh, you didn't
I
watch the game? No.
I just saw one save and then went the other way.
No. Cody,
Ryan
you didn't
did
watch
not
the game.
like Lankinen's game today.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
bad.
All right.
I know Caesar caught
helped.
up with the game, I think.
Helped. I'm gonna go Rorensky.
Big time.
That's what I say, Cody, but his stock's already up. So that's
But I
the thing.
think now
higher.
he's like a borderline top 7 defenseman now in the NHL.
We always thought he could be that, Cody, but the
It was
injury,
just health.
health, exactly. I'd
It
always
was-
put him in the top 8 in the Ryan. I don't know about you,
You're what?
but top 8. I would.
Oh,
always-
we got the bet right here. Much easier to chat in text instead of talking for now. But when I'm back in
No.
Neil,
Someone
Wait.
said Lusto.
Mr. Matthew, let me tell you something. This was not the final yet. It's so hard to
Nope.
beat a team twice. Go watch some film on 2010 and look what happened in the last preliminary round. You guys beat us
Wait. You
5-3.
have to make it first. You
Bing.
have to make it first.
yeah, but you don't think Canada's
Bell.
going to come out?
Hit
You
the
don't
bell.
think,
Ryan, I told you, don't worry if we lose tonight. I even said to Carly, I said America 4-2, 5-2. Doesn't mean they're going to lose in the championship.
Look,
Said it today on Spaces. That's
if-
my
Let me continue my story. If you guys haven't watched 2010, the States beat us 5-3, and they scored an empty netter to make it 2 goals, very similar to this. And then what happened in the final was we got Mr. Golden Goal. So y'all enjoy your win in this round robin game. You better hope you don't play us the final because if Makar's back, we are not easy to beat twice.
and here's the funny
Better
thing.
hope Cooper doesn't screw you guys.
Yeah. Oh, let me talk about coaching. John Cooper, I have a massive problem with you. How are you going to get out-coached that badly? Number one. Number two, Paul Maurice should be the head coach of this team. This guy would save Canada's ass because they need to learn a lot from how he coaches. He could maybe even fix Marner. I'm going to be honest.
How did they end up picking Cooper over
He's
Maurice after winning the cup?
They
Because-
thought John Cooper at highest ranked from the player pool.
Because reputation last couple of years, and it's hard not to say Cooper.
And the lawyer envelope, Caesar. The lawyer envelope. He slides some money to like the guys in the offseason.
I don't give a crap.
I will keep talking about it. I got you. Don't
I
worry.
like if it was me, I'd have picked John Cooper too. But Maurice would have been an assistant.
But let me tell you something.
Matthew,
Why
don't
is
troll.
Pirelli,
Stop trolling.
Hagel, and Point getting these huge important minutes when they were terrible together? Brandon Hagel should not be on the ice with 4 minutes left or 3 minutes left. Neither should fucking Cirelli, who was terrible all game. And Braden Point is not being utilized with these guys. If Point is a guy, you put him over Marner on that first line and get him going. Like it was ridiculous. The coaching decisions were terrible. Why he took forever to make the adjustments, why he gives clear bias to his Tampa line. I do not want to start the game with Cirelli, Point, and Hagel on the ice. It's disgraceful. It's a joke. I'm tired of it. Every time I saw Hagel and Cirelli go on the ice, I was like, fuck, here we go again. And we got nothing. It was terrible.
And why is Point playing like a third, fourth line plugger? He's not that. His
guy.
coach
They
should know
finally
that.
got up to the first line, but it took forever.
Coach should know that.
Hagel,
Why does he like Marner? What's his infatuation with Marner? And why did Crosby let Marner go out last on the ice? Because he's like, you're Evgeny Malkin? I'm going to let you go out last. You're not Malkin. You're not Malkin.
You'll never be Malkin.
I'm loving this. This is great. This is great.
Frustrating.
Where's the popcorn?
So frustrating, the coaching decisions. I was like, I was just like, I'm watching a child coach a team. I would rather have Vince coach Team Canada.
Now Vince thinks he can coach Team Canada now because
He
they lost.
John Cooper did. He wouldn't put the stupid Lightning player on the line.
Kirby.
Kirby. It's not even a crash show. This is. I was like,
Crash. I heard that word so much this week.
happy after the game. Like I wasn't even upset. If we lose in the final like this because of the same stupid coaching, that's a real crash show. That's when you'll see me crash show. This is nothing.
Carly's just witnessing this. This is the funniest thing in the world to me.
I didn't even have a beer or anything. I'm fully sober. This is bothering me that much.
Because there was no cup holders.
There's no cup holders.
I gamed the system. You know, they take your
Just
water
300
bottle
IQ.
cap when you go into the arena. Like if you buy water, they won't give you the cap.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
They don't let
brought
you bring water in either.
I
You gotta
brought
be tough.
bottle
You gotta
cap.
be tough in Canada, Carly. Sometimes you don't even get water. You just gotta rough it through. Depends
Oh.
on.
Hey, I always had
Very
crap
popular
behind my
coffee.
chair.
I brought
you got the secret compartments.
Oh yeah.
We sneak stuff in with him, Ryan, when you go to next Florida game.
Yeah, you got it.
I got you guys.
I mean, I barely go to games. I mean, no. I mean, like
No, but I was an absolute like obnoxious pain in the asshole game. I was like screaming the most. I think that we almost had like Scotiabank syndrome after the first period, where like the lower bowl was so quiet. And it was
you had Scotiabank syndrome the entire back half of the third.
We're hitting all-time streaming numbers here on After Dark with Ryan's burnout crash show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you think this is
Did you call it a burnout?
So don't forget
so
to
much worse?
No, that's if we lose. That's if we lose.
Yeah. Even if we win, it'll be so much worse for all of you.
Look, we're going live if Canada loses immediately after
Oh,
that
yeah.
game. I don't
But
care.
we're not if
100%.
America loses.
100%.
If Nick
What?
going to give us one of those answers, maybe I'll show up, maybe I won't.
What adjustments
Tell
have
Caesar
to
will
be
be
made?
What adjustments?
I'll be here.
He's will be here.
Who wants
Uh,
to take this one? I have so much to say,
pick
but I'll
pick your team better. Like
that's a big one.
don't.
Cody's so critical when we lose. He's so easy on football losses, but on hockey losses, man.
That's because we're used to football losses. We haven't won a playoff game since we both been on the planet.
We haven't won a Super Bowl since '96.
Forget the Super Bowl. We haven't won a playoff game. I don't want to talk about that.
You haven't won a
The last time America won best on best, Cody, it goes back to when the Cowboys won. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
You do,
while
actually,
ago.
Caesar. You do realize we haven't won a Super Bowl since '73, right?
Okay,
That
but
goes
you know how
back
many
to-
You know how many times Dolphin fans throw 72 season, perfect season in my face?
Have you heard
Every
me
single
ever?
time.
Have you ever seen me throw that
How is
thing in
that
your face?
No, I'm not talking about you guys, but other Dolphin
How's that a
fans.
brag when people say like, "Don't bring up Kirby, don't bring up stuff from the '90s"?
It's like the Habs like bragging about Guy Lafleur. Like
It is. Like, were you guys
Hey.
listening to that tonight, Ryan? Where they talk about the Montreal Glory days today at the rink? Any fans?
No, but I will say that it's really something to see all of the cup banners. Like it's really something to see. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah.
Like it's
Carly,
awesome.
did you get we'll keep it hockey here, but did you get like a small glimpse into if Florida played Montreal in a playoff matchup, what it would feel like? What I tell you about the Montreal residents and fans, like the energy, how they yelling at players, like how they just handled the game? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Like during the game, so much.
Okay.
No,
Outside?
no,
No.
No one
no.
said anything there.
So, Parrish, I like this question. I honestly think it's going to be just as electric. Kirby kind
Yeah.
of disagrees with us. He kind of says that it's a little bit, it's going to be different. How so, Kirby?
I don't think it's not going to be electric, but I think for the game today that you guys went to, the Finland-Sweden game, how is it going to be for the Finland-Canada game in Boston? Is it going to be as loud, as buzzing as that? I'm not sure. USA in a championship game, of course it'll be buzzing, right? USA against what are they matched up against Sweden? It'll be good, but I don't know, Ryan. Like more, will there be more there for these games in attendance in Montreal and Boston, not counting the championship?
I honestly can't say anything because I've never been to the TD Garden, so I don't know how it is, but it'll be hard to beat, especially like the way it was in like the first like 10 minutes of the game.
They say Montreal is the best crowd in the NHL.
They do say that, and I mean, I think a lot of the crowd wasn't like fully Montreal because it was a little quieter at times. Because I think there was a lot of like people who just went there for the experience because it was just an expensive game at one point. Like the tickets just kept rising and rising, and that's what I was saying. There's Scotiabank syndrome, where it's like I think people, some of them just didn't care as much. They just it was like
So if the ticket prices are down, maybe you have a bit of atmosphere in Boston. But if it's the same case, then
exactly.
I think it's the same or a little less.
Look, you're not going to find any.
Championship game will be crazy.
Look, Boston's a very patriotic city.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
And I think there'll be something of a response. I think people are going to be upset about how Canada handled the anthems, and I think there'll be something of a response. So it might be more electric. People might be more into it because of what they saw happen in Canada. I will say too, like there was far fewer people there for the United States at this game than I expected.
Yeah, there was not a lot of U.S. fans.
There was
clumps.
not a lot of U.S. fans.
Very few clumps.
we didn't need that many.
No,
We just
Does
need
it
Jake.
really surprise me in the
Surprised
province?
Yeah.
When we scored, I expected something of a roar, and like it was not.
and I think that's that benefited the States because a lot of their players they thrive on being a villain, and I think that really helped them a lot.
Yep.
I think it was just huge. You could tell like every time they did something or they scored, it was like they just loved to like silence the crowd.
But
How crazy is this, guys? Canada has lost their first game in 26 games with Sidney Crosby in the lineup.
Yeah.
It's
And the
just-
last one we lost was 5-3 to the States in 2010. And I told you how.
Oh, that was the last one, the preliminary.
Wow.
Yep, and I told you how that ended.
you don't got that 2010 team no more, buddy.
I was going to say this line, the U.S. lineup is a little bit deeper.
You don't got Getzlaff. You don't have Luongo.
Sounds like the Rangers in the playoffs last
You
year.
don't-
Okay,
I've
too
seen
far.
this before. I've seen this
Too
before.
far. Too far.
Oh man,
Cody,
90
though, Cody, I think you have to give credit though. This term is closer than what you would have thought. I think you thought there's a bit of a gap with
Is
US.
Matthew still here? How's this for an all-star game, bud? After the first game, you're like, oh, they actually hit people. I'm shocked, but nobody fought. What happened this game? We saw some fights. We saw some hits bigger than I've seen in the
Crazy.
playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't ever see an all-star game again. Y'all had
100%.
I've been saying that all
100%.
along.
Who is this casual? Who is this 2010 casual? Vince on casual watch. Brodeur is the only guy who lost the game for us in 2010. Luongo was the guy who won every single other game he played, and the gold medal game, and the semifinal game, and the other game. He won every game.
It wasn't Patrick Waugh. It wasn't
Get out of here.
Waugh. It wasn't Patrick Waugh.
Apologize in the comments. I'm waiting for you, Vince. That's gonna make you crash.
Don't set Ryan off with Luongo stuff. We don't need this on all nights. Hey, did you run into Luongo or GSP? You run into GSP?
No, he hyped the crowd up.
That was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, facts. It's still our sport. Imagine if we had 10 times. the
Montreal knows how to get crowd going with
Yeah.
bring.
Imagine if we had 350 million people. We'd have 10 McDavids and 10 McCarrs. And then it'd be a difference.
So we're gonna use the Finland excuse that Sweden's
That's what Don Beach is telling me. So I was like, you know what? If you want to use that logic, compare us to the States. We'd have 10 times the players.
Vince on a 1-goal victory or 2-goal victory, he treats it like it's a 7-8 goal winning, like he beating, like he treats it the same way. Like, come on.
Interesting how the fight started, guys.
Yeah, because also Hagel and Kachuk have previous beef. Like when they fought, I was like, checks out, right? And
Who
then
won these fights? And Parayko
It was,
won.
it was Hagel, Brady, and then Parayko.
I don't
Brady,
think
if you're giving Brady the edge, barely then.
Barely. No, it was close, but he won a little bit.
You're saying Hagel?
Yeah.
Because of the takedown?
He got the takedown at the end, yeah.
Okay. No, that's interesting. You didn't really get anything in on Matthew there. But everyone that says Bennett picks his fights, and whether you're a Panther fan or not, he stepped up and fought Brady Tkachuk. So I think everyone can silence that Bennett just picks his spots, Boston Bruin fans or whoever you are.
Yep.
Right? So that argument can die.
To me, Canada won the fights in general because for us. Like, that was a huge loss. I think that was a mistake.
Carly, exactly my thoughts.
If we hadn't won the game, like, I would be probably harping on that more because it was a huge waste of time to have those guys sitting in the box.
Especially with your two best players last game. You know, napping on the ice 10 minutes in there.
If you want to drop the
good point by Caesar. They weren't trying to get going. They already were going from the last game.
And you know what?
Right away.
No, and also, like, you know what would really get your guys going? Taking the lead early. Like, that would have had a bigger impact than I think the fights ended up. So I think it was a lot.
It played into Canada's hand in the crowd, and it didn't pay off right away, but then it did after with the McDavid goal. And it's like, okay, you might have lost momentum here.
Yeah,
it's called.
And I think most of the energy was wasted on that, like the beginning part too.
Yeah.
So
it was insane. That was a crazy time.
I'm in the minority. Redo it again. I don't care.
Yeah, facts. Play us again.
I would love frustrated because I'm like,
Thursday night. Boy.
Hockey.
Yeah, Carly was pissed after the 3 fights. The first one, I feel like.
Well, you have to understand, it was like
I don't mind the first one. The first one I don't mind, but when you have 3 in a row, like, no, that's to me.
That's 1970s style there. That's
they beat our anthem, and it was like fight. I'm like, can we just play hockey? Can we just have some sportsmanship and play hockey? Like, I'm all for fight. But like, enough. Like, we came out. I flew to internationally to watch Best on Best, and we're just gonna sit here and like turn this into. Come on.
Okay,
but the game didn't turn ugly. The game didn't turn ugly after that.
Well, Mac made it a little ugly.
It got pretty.
Parayko,
there was no dirty hits.
His fight. Parayko, Binnington is his goalie in St. Louis, and he got ran, and it's like, beat him up, Parayko. Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
For sure.
That's the one that.
Could that have been a penalty? They didn't call. They weren't even looking at it.
No,
you power play out of that.
Nah, you booed my anthem. You're gonna get the 1-2 buckle my shoe real quick.
It had nothing to do with that, though.
I think it was before that.
Let me point out, I didn't boo the anthem, and I stayed till the end, even when they're giving out their 3 stars. So,
hey, I respect that. That's what I do too.
You know what? This is karma.
I sung the anthem. I love the American.
And you want to boo our anthem? And fine, we'll take
when they said red, I screamed red, just like we do at the arena.
I screamed night as well.
Me too.
Caesar,
so many people gave me crap when we used to do it last year. I'm like, but he's on the team again, guys. Come on, like
the only thing that drove me crazy is when we screamed night during the Cup final in 23. That was the one. We're playing the Knights.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Caesar, do you know that kid that they always show on TV? Do you know that? Caesar, hold on, guys. Caesar, do you know that guy they always show on TV? That teenager kid, and he's always screaming at the camera?
Yeah.
He was there tonight and belting out the anthem in the crowd. I'm like, this kid is everywhere, and he knows where the camera is every time.
It seems like
crazy.
Dude,
that's a scripted.
I'm surprised this kid doesn't have his own podcast by now.
I'm like, this kid is everywhere, man. Even in other rinks that aren't Emirates Bank. Crazy.
I don't know how he does it.
No. I think his mom was wearing a Panther jersey or whoever his guardian.
All his parents have money. I mean, damn.
Big money.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say something about the store. They need more shirtsies and jerseys with players on. They only had McDavid and Crosby, and then they ran
away.
I wanted our shirt. That's all I wanted.
The store was crazy.
And it was crowded.
Wow. I'm surprised. Actually.
But I have a question for you, Canadian people. Are you changing goalies? Yes or no?
Such a tough decision, Ryan.
I don't even know what to think because it's at the same time Binnington only let in 2 goals. So
what
I was prepared for this.
They were soft.
I was prepared for this question, and I don't like this goalie, Ryan, and neither do you. But if we had a middle-aged Marc-Andre Fleury, I would even lean to go towards him, even though I don't trust him.
Yep. No,
I would lean to go to him. But we don't even have someone at that caliber. There's no Luongo. There's no Brodeur. There's no Curtis Joseph. There's no Ed Belfour.
That guy, World Junior.
Tokarski. You're like, get Montembeau out of here. Tokarski.
Get him out of here. No.
Nah, you know,
Ryan, that's too much World Junior.
it's just funny. Like once again, pick your team better.
No, you're right.
You left Logan Thompson and Mackenzie Blackwood sitting at home.
So silly. And here's the thing also, like we also what is it? If they were promoting the tournament so hard, why be so limited with jerseys if you know next? That's what I'm saying. It bothered me so much. I was like, I just want to Cale Makar something. I was like, I'm not ever buying an Avalanche jersey. I will never do it. But I wanted Cale Makar because he's from Alberta. He's my Alberta boy. He's generational and he's one of my favorite defensemen.
Where in Alberta? Where in Alberta?
Southern Alberta.
Okay, that's right.
Hey man, who would buy an Avalanche jersey? That guy's insane, you know.
Cody has every jersey in his wardrobe, but you have to do it that way, Cody. Otherwise, you can't be rocking other jerseys. You have to have literally every team.
I'm not gonna lie, like my next one's probably another Tampa one, to be honest.
A Tampa
Are you being?
Tampa? Wait,
I know what Cody's angling.
It better be Braden Point. Anyone
Guy
else?
that
It is Braden Point.
Okay, respect. I like that guy. That's another Alberta boy.
That's Southern Alberta.
I mean,
Because I have one and it's Ruslan Fedotenko.
Of course you do.
Game
Yeah.
7 hero, I guess.
Like I don't know. Like
Don't say that too loud. Calgary. The puck was in.
The puck was in. I was behind the glass there. Puck was in.
listen, I still
Tampa Bay, Mickey Mouse championships.
hey, Florida Panthers, a real championship.
That's right, Cody.
I question you if you're a hockey. The problem was she's a USA fan first. She's thinking it from that point of
it doesn't
view.
even make sense as a question because I didn't like the fights because I want to watch hockey. Also, I flew internationally to watch hockey, so I feel like maybe I'm a hockey fan. But it's not that I don't like fights. Paul Laws is my favorite hockey player. Like, I like fighting. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
that.
And
Carly, I was waiting for you to say that today to Gino, the guy in our post game show, and you didn't say it. I was trying.
I don't know what it is. Like these guys, people love to
Man,
just talk
let me not say anything on Paul Loss.
I don't know. But anyways, I love a good fight. It's just like
the right time and not in the beginning of the game.
Well, Nathan had
Carly,
like-
the best point of the whole thing that you've said I like is like, why are you putting Kachuk and Kachuk back to back in a pre-staged fight scenario? That's what I agree with.
and then we're losing them for 5 minutes of the game, and they're like not able to have an impact.
And they can't get into their flow 5-on-5 because you're already taking yourself out of the game.
Yeah, I don't get it. I could see if we were like up already and they were like, all right, like let's fight some people.
Or Matthew would do if they were down. Like,
Or if something happened in the game, they crash a goalie. Like, yeah,
That's what
fight
I'm
them.
saying. Like the Parayko
for
one was
sure.
totally justifiable.
but I think that's on Matthew. He talked to Hagel at center ice. Ryan, I don't think you're in your seat yet for warm-ups. He said, let's go or something.
No, they have prior beef if they wanted to fight. Like, especially because if you guys remember the last time.
But Hagel accepted his.
Carly, which fight was your favorite?
I don't even think she liked any of them.
Probably Parayko Miller because that one made the most sense.
Miller does not know how to fight. This is Ryan. This is how you was. It's like you're gonna knock yourself
I
out
was-
before you're gonna knock the other.
I was
guy.
so confused because that man never.
Sam Bennett.
Kirby, you know what you look like there? You look like the Rock'em Sock'em.
That was my
robots.
favorite fight.
That's every.
I had the kung fu fighters, karate fighters,
I miss playing Russia in these tournaments.
Dude, I was thinking the
because they're
same
gonna
thing.
choke, Ryan. Because they'll choke.
Dude,
Number
That
one,
is-
they'll choke, and number two, Canada. Like I'm not going to speak for all of Canada, but I think we hate Russia and have a bigger rivalry when we play Russia than we actually play you guys.
You do have an old soul, Ryan.
Yeah, but here's the
especially
thing.
with US too. US and Russia, those
Yeah.
Oh, they don't. There's no love lost there
And
either.
in the next 5 years, USA is gonna surpass Canada.
He's put his
Because-
hand up.
Please just win this tournament first, and then go for it.
They're really celebrating before the goal line.
This
Right?
actually reminds me of 20.
They are the opposite of Barry
This
Sanders.
is 2010 to a T. The
Dog,
exact
we don't have Ryan Whitney on the team.
Everyone talked up Ryan Miller. Remember that, Ryan? Oh,
Yeah.
he's better than
goalie of the tournament. Don't get me
Goalie of the
started on that one too. Oh my god.
Ryan, you were learning long division. Quit acting like you were there.
I was in Vancouver.
He was there in spirit.
I was there. I was in Vancouver.
Don't get him hyped up. We're gonna get kicked off.
Maybe close the door.
That's when the stream ends, when Ryan gets kicked out of the hotel.
That's me and that's you.
This is better than I imagined, even though the result wasn't great, Cody.
No, we're
Appreciate Carly.
definitely getting engaged. I love it, guys. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
and
know what she was going to ask.
especially with Ryan and Carly being at the game, this
See,
just goes to, like, getting to experience it. It's been a long time since both of these nations. have played each
Caesar's
other.
going to get mad at me after, and he's going to be like, Kirby, we didn't ask them enough about the experience and atmosphere. So do we want to get into more of that,
Yeah.
Caesar?
Well, before that,
It was a lot of cool lights.
There you go, Caesar. Cool lights, Caesar.
but before that, before we get to their experience, we should pay some bills, and I'm gonna head out. Your boy is tired.
Okay.
All right, Cody.
Good night, Cody.
Bye,
US
Cody.
USA on top.
Whoop.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? Caneswear in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Caneswear has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
Big shout out there to Caneswear for being our sponsor here. And yeah, let's kind of get into a little bit more of the fan experience there, guys, being north of the border. Did you guys get those ribbons that light up? Because
Yeah, wait.
let's see those babies. And there we go.
Yeah, good call there, Caesar.
even lighting
That
up.
one guy was blinding me from behind the
Right?
I was like this during the game.
Like, they gave us all Canadian flags, and I waved mine so much it just like tore off.
Yeah,
So I had to make
it was so beat up. Like halfway through the game, it's like
It was, there was like holes in it. It was tearing apart. I was going crazy. I was screaming over everything. I was like, McDavid, please.
So you're the one that started the fight with the flag. Okay.
Okay.
No taken. No, that's awesome, man. I love those things. I think the Panthers should actually, think about handing those out during the playoffs.
And
Those
what
are
was
pretty cool.
cool, yeah, the coolest part is like even when the States scored, they had them go blue and red. I mean, I covered mine, the light, because I was like, I'm not letting them get free coverage over me, but it was cool. They had it. Carly didn't even take one.
Well, no, because they were handing out the flags, and I was like, "No, thank you." So I just kind of walked away, and it was like this. They were giving them out, so I kind of missed on the necklace. But they're like, a Canadian flag. I'm like, sure, no, thanks. I was all my USA stuff on.
Do you have your Florida hat there, Carly? And if you don't, see
Yeah.
if I might be able to put the picture.
You grab it.
Yes.
I
If
want
not, I can pull it up here on X.
Before.
Also,
Okay.
they let us in the club level just to look around, which is pretty
Oh.
cool.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Thing. And then it was so empty there, and I was like, if I want food, that's where I'm going. That's a cool hat.
Look at that hat. Wow.
Yeah.
Is this custom made or something?
No, I bought this a couple years ago in the Panthers store.
You bought it a couple years ago. I thought you just became a fan last year.
Oh, right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm new at this.
So Carly will wear that everywhere because we'll always have all these Florida Panthers representing international.
I want to talk about that. We saw so many Panthers fans.
Yeah.
There's so many. We met a
That is
family.
so awesome.
We met a family that with a bunch of Panthers fans. One had a Forsling Sweden jersey. One had a Kachuk US jersey. One had a Lundell jersey. And then what was the other one?
Wait.
Mikola.
Barkov.
And a Barkov one.
Yeah.
No Mikolas. Okay.
Panther
And then
family out there. That's awesome.
We were walking through the concessions, and this couple walked by us, and we're like, "Go Cats!" And then she's like, "Okay, wait, now I have to ask you, like, do you live down there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I live down there." She's like, "Do you have season tickets?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Us too." And we started talking, and they were talking about flights actually, and then trying to
everyone's flights
get
getting canceled.
both of those groups told us they wanted to go to the game tonight, but they hadn't previously bought tickets, and the prices had gone up so much. So I don't know if either of them made it, but
Yeah, and there's a snowstorm coming tomorrow, and everyone's flight got canceled. And then
yes.
yeah, so
What were the final prices on the tickets set towards the end of the before
ticket
it started?
$800.
Holy. Okay. Wow.
Up in the third, fourth balcony or whatever.
Leeds corner, terrible seats, but just to get in.
Yeah, attendance was 21,105. It was just over sold out.
And the 50-50 was like
Oh yeah.
$400,000.
Oh, sorry, 800 Canadian tuna, So what?
Wait, let me look.
$75 these days.
With a picture.
Go.
This is where the 50-50 ended. Can you see this?
Tap it. For
Yeah, there we go. A little bit. Yeah.
Oh,
I can't quite see it, but
Just,
I don't-
there we
Oh,
go.
now
There we
it's
go. Perfect.
424,000.
yeah.
yeah. The last time I took a photo.
So hopefully Carly wins, so we can go to Boston.
But see, there's a difference too, because in Montreal, I seen it like 4 million, 3 million. So
That's
Edmonton has the record. Cool fact. They're crazy on 50-50
that's
because
insane.
there's only hockey in
Which is
Edmonton in the mall, and it
'cause
got to like $20 million in Stanley Cup final in Edmonton.
last year
Tuna,
we
relax
had,
on the monopoly money comment there. We have colored money, but relax. We're gonna get a timeout from our moderators here.
Like the people next to you. The people like right next to me were nice. I talked to them a little bit, but
Who are they fans of?
I think Canada.
the first
yeah.
game we were
Wait.
sitting next to Finn. They
Yeah.
were wearing Finland
Mhm.
jerseys.
And we had a giant Finland flag in front of us,
Yeah.
and then there was Sweden on like the left. But no, the next game it was like the people kept talk
Canada.
about how bad annoying it was, and people just kept coming in and standing.
Oh, my gosh,
God.
you guys know that hockey etiquette drives me crazy.
Same.
And they were doing
please talk about it, because I get upset when people stand up in front of me and watch the game, and I'm in the handicap section. I'm like,
That's
Guys.
poor form. Poor form.
come on,
terrible. Yeah.
you're about to score. It's like, guys, I'm trying to watch the game.
Right.
Oblivious, rude, and not knowing etiquette of hockey. Go
It
ahead.
was embarrassing
They
So
were not
annoying.
holding people back.
for the whistle.
So yeah, the puck wasn't playing. People were up and down. I'm like, I'm gonna lose it.
Mhm.
Like I was like, I cannot.
Carly was ready to crash out.
Oh my gosh, because I'm like, this is like so
Right.
basic. Why are you not
Fine, I don't know how they're doing that in Canada. I'm playing Montreal.
right? These are the people that are like, oh, this is where this is hockey town. Like
Yeah.
you don't even stop people on the stairs when the puck's in play.
That's province of Quebec, Ryan. I'm putting that on.
Oh wait, that's what I was trying to tell Carly. She's like, I thought Canadian people were so nice, and I was like,
You're on the wrong side of the
Quebec, the rest of Canada, not the same.
No one has any
Nothing.
manners. I'm sorry.
And I'm so tired of these French people.
That's giving a bad representation of Canada.
It does. That's what I was trying to tell her. I was like,
She could go to Crosby's hometown in Nova Scotia or whatever.
You go further east, you're fine. You go further west, you're fine.
Fine.
It's Toronto and Quebec that the people are just. It is not
They
the
just
same.
kept
Especially right in Toronto. Right.
and I just turned to him. I'm like, aren't people supposed to be nice
And I was
here?
telling her, I was like, please don't take this as like a representation of Canada. I was like, these are like, and so much French. They don't even the announcement French, the countdown French. I was like, so done with it.
This will be a podcast episode. Maybe you come on, or me, you, and Cody.
I would love to.
That we'll
Yeah,
have
we
to
definitely
hold
gotta
on.
talk
Off
about
season,
this.
Parrish. Off season.
Yeah, that would be a great one.
Totally.
There's a question: did they make us leave? Yeah, everyone had to leave. Did they make you guys leave the arena and come back in, or
Yeah, you got to leave.
you gotta
People
leave.
hide in the arena, right? Ryan?
yeah, they let you? They made you leave. Because not everybody had
Both
tickets
tickets,
to
yeah.
both,
People will hide in the arena, Ryan, in the water.
Yeah. Oh,
I-
100%.
People like get in the rafters. Or
especially for a game like this. Like,
Back when I used to do drinking, I probably would have fell asleep in the bathroom.
But Sleeper, how did you get a free ticket? I just fell asleep.
Right?
Clear me out. They're
My
throwing
friends know
stuff
me
on
with-
top of me.
Oh my gosh. Those
Paper
were back in
towels,
the
and stuff.
days.
Popcorn bag.
Another thing was it's still an older arena, so like the concourse was really squished and it was full of people and it was like a pain to get anywhere, and it was a nightmare to move around. That's why
They're like Tuna's question. They're checking security protocol pretty tight. I'm thinking.
it was not very tight.
No.
no, they didn't check my bag really.
Nothing.
So would you say
what's
like
going on
security at the Panther Arena is more tight?
tighter. Yeah, even
And
when
I feel like the last couple of years it's gone tighter, especially since we've been winning.
More people.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. Even
I-
at Amarin, like if I have a clear bag,
Yeah.
but they still want to look inside and make sure there's not like things in between stuff. They'll
So-
still open a clear bag. Here they're just like, okay, it's
Didn't
clear.
care.
I could see.
Like
And,
before, they didn't really check me. Now they kind of somewhat, and it's like
You just gotta
okay,
guilt,
so I just got to put that a little bit lower down my back.
guilt them. You're like, I'm in a wheelchair and you're really doing this to me. Like, come on, be serious.
You'd be surprised. I've been almost fully cavity checked at the airport. So
And then, wow, some positivity. This is the first Vince comment I'm actually gonna say. Thank you, Vince. Some Canadians are very nice, but Quebec is kind of not. So thank you. They're very different people. When I was in Brantford, the people were very, very nice. I'm glad you had a good experience with Canadians. Because Vince,
Good.
he likes to talk all this shit about how he's so U.S. American, and he calls himself an honorary Canadian. So,
Did you guys? Was there good restaurant service, food
I was
service?
gonna say
The food was
one
good.
thing that they did well was food. The food was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't eat during the Canadian-U.S. game.
He
because
didn't move.
I didn't move. I sat in my seat the entire time. I didn't get up once to go to the bathroom, nothing.
Nothing.
Because I was like,
Carly, you got up multiple times. I only get up once, maybe.
my butt was implanted.
I
Because
might have been like that. Too.
I don't want to get caught in the mess of people. I don't want to eat or drink because I was so like my knees were jittering the entire game. I was like totally like anxiety out of my mind. And I was like, let me just pop us in and calm down and watch the rest of the game. Because it was like it was so stressful.
I got up after warm-ups to get nachos, and then I got up in the second intermission to go to the bathroom.
Great
You got
point,
back
Ben.
in time. You got back in time.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
miss anything.
We were kind of close to the bathroom, so like when I went, like it was fine, and then when I came out, it was like a huge line.
Vince, I'm just messing with you, but don't worry. Are the seats comfortable? The seats in the lower bowl were a lot nicer than the one in the upper bowl. That clock moved so fast in the second and third period, or especially the second period because there's no whistles
Second
really.
was fast.
That first
yeah.
took 12 years. But no, the seats were like okay. I got kind of used to what's it called? Rogers, where those seats are nice. And even Scotiabank, the lower bowl seats are really nice as well. And they all have cup holders, which I'm not going to get into again. It's pissed me off. There's no cup holders. But yeah, they need a little bit. They need a few renovations to Bell Center. It's still iconic. It's still great, but
The seats are
Yeah.
steep, and
They're
up
steep.
top they're so steep. Like what I think is crazy about our arena is like when you're up top and it's pretty steep, there's nothing blocking you. Like if you trip and fall, you're gonna fall for a while. But like up here, there's
Yeah.
like these huge
Guardrails.
holes, like in between the rows. That I was like, that's kind of nice actually.
we did feel like being on the other end of the Panthers game. That's exactly. I was like,
I thought the story of the game was, Ryan, they couldn't connect on slot passes and they were overpassing a few times. That Doughty one where he had it there and then he pushed it forward on a pass. They were overpassing, and even like the McKinnons and Crosbys and McDavid was not
very uncharacteristic
It
mistakes.
was very all of them combined. And it's like Hellebuck can get in your head, but he shouldn't have been in the head in this type of game where it was very low. There wasn't a ton of shots where they're like, okay, he's just goalie enough. That makes sense if he was just standing on his head. But it didn't make sense to how they were overpassing and overcomplicating things in the slot. Good job by US to keep everything to the outside, but there was chances to hit that guy in the inner slot. They were trying with Reinhardt. They were trying
Slipped on
with Crosby. Right?
Yeah, Reinhardt had a wide open net, and he went to and he just fanned and slipped, and I was like, that would have been the tying goal. And Carly said she'd cheer if Reinhardt scored too. So I was really
love
hoping
Sam
that Reinhardt
Reinhart.
scored.
I named my cat after Sam Reinhart.
I would agree. For sure.
Like Brady the other night, he was playing against Finland, but I was like, that was a sick goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, wow. I was charged up a little bit on our live stream for that one. I think Caesar. That was pretty nice by Brady.
Our power just flickered.
Yeah, but also like as a general game, it's like all I asked was for like an entertaining game. I just wanted it to be close, and I wanted it to be like engaging, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. It was such a good game to watch. It was, even though Canada lost, it was probably my favorite game I've ever seen because it was just
And
so.
both games you got today, overtime in the game.
Yeah, we got super lucky,
Yeah.
and it was just one of those games where it's like it doesn't matter what the result was at the end of the day. It's like I'm just so happy I got to be, thanks to Carly, part of like that event and part of history, because that is going to spark so much, because a lot of the newer fans.
Oh, did we lose
Oh,
Ryan?
we lost Ryan there.
We got him on video, but not on sound. I got him.
Better.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like a lot of like the newer fans didn't watch Best of Best ever.
Oh, sounds like he's underwater now, Caesar.
Yeah, he keeps.
It's like our technical things. We haven't had this issue yet on After Dark. We had it the other day on the podcast when Carly was calling in there. Oh, my losing their connection there.
Yeah,
A
sorry.
lot of the newer fans haven't experienced Best on Best and didn't know what to expect. And I think this was a perfect game to get people to know what it's like when the Best on Best play. This is going to get the Olympics more hyped up. This is going to put pressure on the NHLPA to make sure the NHL players are there and they're all playing. And it's like, it just did so good for the sport of hockey. And I follow a bunch of like football people on Twitter, obviously, like, you know me, big Dolphins fan. And so many of them were tweeting about Four Nations saying, I can't, if you're not watching this, turn this shit on. Like, this is insane. It was so good. They, just like what Chris Scott just said, they should be talking to the world, and we were on the map. I'm waiting to see the numbers, but if anyone watched the NBA All-Star game or whatever nonsense it was over this, you need serious help.
I told my brother that tonight. He better have been watching the hockey game.
Yeah.
So I got a question for both of you guys, kind of going into this, still talking into this topic. What was the entertainment outside the arena? Was there any concert music or anything, activities with the kids and stuff? Because I felt like the Panthers last year during the Stanley Cup Finals kind of missed that opportunity with the fans. What did you guys see there during the game?
Yeah, so there was Fan Festival. It opened at 11 before the first game. And when you go inside, there was like a bunch of different games that you could play. They had this gigantic slot machine, and based on how many things you got in a row, you got different prizes. So he got this towel. I got gloves. I don't
And
know.
look what they,
Let me
also,
grab. Let me see if I can.
for all you hockey card guys, if you like bought a
Dude,
pack.
I saw Carly got Stephen Lawrence.
No, this is the real ones. Rookie jersey patch, Matty Beniers and Lucas Reichel.
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah.
so
So I
awesome.
use gloves.
Oh, the gloves too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Those are handy. And Carly, in Canada, you need lots of those like small type of gloves because then you just lose one and it's like it's a mess. Ryan, you don't wear anything. I know.
Yeah, I was telling
I try to take care of the hands. You know.
yeah, I was telling Carly it was really funny that she was more prepared for the weather than me. She has boots and gloves, and I've lived in Canada my entire life. I don't even own a pair of boots since like the 6th grade. So I'm walking around in my little New Balance dad shoes. I don't have gloves. I'm just
Ryan, what a mess. Come on, Ryan. I prepared Carly before she left, though. I'm like, you got this, you got that, you should try this. Just make sure you're layered, all that.
Yeah. And they had a some sort of like virtual reality hockey experience
Yeah.
that you could do. We didn't do it.
Yeah.
But
Those are hard. I did that at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Man,
That's what I was gonna say. Just like the Hockey Hall of Fame.
it's so hard to make a save. Like Stephen Lawrence went in one of those, and I think Luongo. It's hard to make a save on those machines.
yeah.
And it's crazy because I think with the virtual reality stuff, the Commanders quarterback, he's actually Jaden Daniels actually used that during the season to prepare himself during the game. So
I can see certain goalies do stuff like that, Caesar. It's good.
Yeah.
Real.
So it's something that's a lot of people, a lot of players are starting to use too.
So
That's
the goalie Caesar, they used to, and Ryan like this Luongo, I think he used to do that touch test thing with the eyes.
They had that at the NHL All-Star game, I believe. So where you could go up there and test your time and see how long it would take.
Yeah, it's something Luongo really trained in, especially near the end of his career, I want to say. So Hellebuck, you see him there, Ryan, with his eyes there in warm-ups. They showed it tonight. They had the red light on Hellebuck. It'd be like, this guy would be so cool if he was on the New Jersey Devils because you would just fit the image. And his eyes are just like going across and all the red light is on him. Like,
no, Winnipeg needs something. Let him stay in Winnipeg. Keep him out of the East.
Yeah, I would not want that.
Let him choke to the Avalanche in the playoff every year, so we don't have to deal with him ever. Because let him stay there.
Tonight, just not liking us here tonight.
No.
Chat. I don't know.
I don't even think
this is the moderator here that's talking, everyone. So.
Yeah, you're lucky I can't be going in the chat giving you timeouts. But I feel like I literally left the game and I told Carl, I was like, yo, congrats on the win. I'm so happy it was such a good game and everything. And it was like, I was fine. Like during the game, I was a psycho. But the second it ended, I was like, congratulations. Like you guys deserved the win. It was a great game. And like, that was the coolest thing ever.
I think the best footage that we could have given you guys was like the absolute stark difference in our reaction to the first minute of the game.
Yeah. I was like on my feet, jumping around, screaming, beat his ass. And Carly was like, I just want to watch hockey.
Where's the content, Ryan? You're supposed to give me content. None of this.
I have so many videos of me screaming. Don't worry. It's there.
Okay. We'll see if we can put it up on the channel. When you put it all together, you'll put it together good.
Yeah.
You got to give it a little like warning, like a little PG-13.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to tell me on all the TOS, whatever music you're putting in there.
Oh yeah. No, because I screamed like beat his ass a few times. And I was like, you might need a little
No,
warning.
got to put it up even though we lost.
Yeah. Dropped a couple other inappropriate words, I assume. I don't know. So.
Bleep, cut it.
Yeah, I'll edit it.
Vince makes a really good point here. Hellebuck has been really stellar the last 2 games, although he hasn't had to make a lot of real good saves.
This is my point. The defense has been good in front, and the team.
Yeah.
Especially
I don't think it's been overly tested, right? That's just me. And I'm not sour grapes. I just think they've done a good job in front of them.
No, they have.
And it starts with Jacob Slavin. Like, that guy has been unreal. He stopped every single rush.
So you agree with Cody, because Werenski really impressed me tonight.
No, and when Cody said it, that's the exact same guy I was thinking. I was even telling Carly during the game, I was like, Slavin is like killing us. And then Bennett absolutely crushed him, and I was like, holy shit.
Yes, holy. And
I give Bennett 5 big booms for that hit. Boom, boom,
put him in the
boom,
shadow
boom,
realm.
boom.
Came into those guys. Wow. I think our fans will be happy that, USA, if you're American, got the win. One of Canada's best players was Sam Bennett, but I ain't going to cut it. Like, can't have Sam Bennett being your best guy out there. And that was an issue type. But people are saying US has more depth. I thought the Canadian depth played well. Marchand, Bennett. It was the top guys that weren't there.
The Lightning.
Yeah, and you can kind of argue too that both teams' stars didn't really show up for this game.
Yeah, right. And the difference factor was a guy like Larkin, further down the lineup. But it was the depth guys that really showed up and showed out tonight. So.
But like, if we do meet you in the final, I don't think I'd play Binnington just because the States they knew his weakness. Binnington was that goalie. He was making these big saves, and he was really good he gets the guys out of his crease. He's really aggressive in the crease. But that 5-hole is open the entire game. And the States, they figured it out and just started shooting 5-hole, and then they would just.
Yeah, he's lucky some other pucks didn't leak through him and get by him there. But Ryan, the one pause I would have is he won the Stanley Cup in that building.
In the same building, yeah. He's that's
one thing I'm holding hope on, because I don't fully trust Adin Hill, but I can see going to him. But that's the only option, and it's like,
I feel like
is it worth it.
I feel like it's desperation if you switch goalies, especially after you're only in 2. You know what I mean? And
Adin Hill, I could give the same type of level of performance, and then
I think if we start Adin Hill against Finland or something, that's like Boston turned to Swayman in Game 7 kind of vibes. That's just my opinion.
And then they might have to flip back, and then you're just back and forth.
Yeah, it's like it's just a mess. So,
but I don't think the goaltending has cost Canada. It's just not helped them in certain spots.
Yeah.
But everyone really overrated. Like, Canada goaltending's gonna be so bad. You guys are gonna be lucky to not allow 5-6 goals. I'm like,
he let in 2 goals at the end of the day. It's like that's all you can ask for a guy going against the best team currently in the tournament. Like, if your goalie lets in 2 goals, you should probably win the game or at least force overtime.
Yeah, good point there, Parrish. But they do have Gensel playing way up the lineup. That's a guy that could play third, fourth. Like, Boldy could get more minutes. You could bump Larkin up. There's guys that are so interchangeable with the USA lineup where you could slide Gensel down. Cooper could do the same thing if he wakes up with point or something.
I was going to say, kind of going into that for both you and Kirby and Ryan there. What does Cooper have to do to make this team a little bit more competitive or to change how they played tonight?
I would say more competitive because it's really close, Ryan. Go ahead.
Okay. He needs to swallow his pride, first of all. I know it's hard for him to do because he has the ego the size of Mount Everest, and he's a Stanley Cup champion multiple times. So he has a big head. And I've heard from inside sources that he has an ego issue. He's very, very like God complex, even to like the players, like family. Like he's very not friendly around there. And I think he needs to put his bias aside and realize what's working and what's not working. He does got the ego size Weston Tamal can't fit. That's a good reference, Vince. But he just needs to put that aside and realize, guess what? Cirelli, Hagel, and Point are not working together. I know they have chemistry in Tampa. Stop putting them on the ice to start each period. Stop giving them favorable treatment. Brandon Hagel should not be touching the ice with 3 minutes left. Brandon Hagel should not be starting periods. That guy is lucky he made the team. And if any other coach was, I don't think he'd be there. And I guess people are saying, oh, he has this many points, 70 points a couple years ago. This guy is not one of those players where it's like he's a star and you're going to give him like first 5 minutes on Canada. Maybe if he's playing on Czechia, okay, give him his top 6 role. But this is Canada we're talking about, and he's playing that early. I was like, it's just ridiculous to me.
Stop giving Mitch Marner just top line minutes. If he goes cries and pouts at this point, I don't care. Put him down the line. Put him on the third, fourth line.
Yeah, you got to know what works. When you see something early, you have to make adjustments early. It's not a 7-game series. This is tournament hockey. You have to make adjustments early, and that's before even the first period even ends. That's your 20 minutes. After that, there should be no excuses not to make adjustments.
He could have made adjustments midway through the second, and he waited till the end of the second.
100%.
And I said in our chat, Marner's going off that line, and I said to one guy, I don't care if even Reinhardt drops down, and they took both of them off. But that was a long time to wait, Ryan. 40
It took way too long. It was till those like
Way too long.
left in the third. And also, Crosby and McKinnon were two guys that have worked really good together, and then he separated them. I guess it was putting Marner away from McDavid, which helped. But at the same time, it's like, why break up something good to solve a problem? You break.
I get that, Ryan, but McKinnon has to produce more. The goal he got was on the power play in the first game. I think he has to do a bit more 5-on-5. So to me, I don't mind if you split them up or bring them up. And if you want to stack the line, you go Crosby, McKinnon, McDavid. I was going to ask you this. Yeah. McDavid would probably be on the wing for me, and Crosby in the middle, 100%. And the other wing.
Yeah. And another thing is when McKinnon or McDavid wasn't playing his best, but why put him with Stone and Crosby or whatever? These guys are not fast. You need a
guy, methodical guys,
right? So methodical, and it just counteracts McDavid, because whenever McDavid would jump in the zone, Stone was 3 steps behind him, and he was so out of play he couldn't catch up. And Crosby and McDavid are both high IQ players, and they had a little bit, but Crosby's not the same fast guy that he was. He's extremely good. He's elite, but I don't think it fit well together.
They had the good puck possession, Ryan, but it was way high up in the zone. He's used to playing Draisaitl and Hyman. They're playing below the dots.
100%. And what I would like to see is McDavid's point, and that would be something that I think would be a lot more beneficial.
McDavid and Brayden Point. I was saying that, and maybe McKinnon.
Yeah,
McKinnon on the left, Point on the right, McDavid center.
Yeah, Crosby just doesn't have that pace anymore.
I don't. Yeah, they might keep Crosby.
And I am really disappointed in the Canadian media. I have not seen anyone call him out for today's game when he almost single-handedly was responsible for that second goal. That was an awful giveaway to no one, and the U.S. just went down. And people are telling me, "Oh, it's Thomas Harley's fault. Oh, it's this fault." That was majority on Crosby. Putting that out there.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's take a listen here to the post-game interview with Larkin. Let's see what he had to say after the game.
Ryan, Carly, Caesar, I think he let the cat out of the bag there by saying the Super Bowl thing. And like, not really. You already said it. So it goes back to there, Brian, maybe. Wow.
For sure. And it's like, I really like that mentality where he's like, he wants to play us again. You know what I mean? It's like that rivalry. They felt it. They're like, we want to beat him twice. And I think that's something that I like to hear from a team. Because if we won, I would be like, I want to play the States final. I wouldn't be cheering for Sweden to beat them or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think the U.S. national program, people can go back to 96. I think they're at an all-time confidence level, and they have a reason to carry that swagger and confidence that we talk about as Canadian hockey fans. We're like, really, sometimes through the years, they're really backing it up. Mm-hmm. So you can carry that swagger, and you're backing it up now. Where Canada used to take a pride thing, like these guys are talking so much junk, we're just going to go out there and take care of them. And the same thing with Russia, right? Like Ovechkin and Kovalchuk, we're going to do this to Canada, and you get beat 7-2. It's like, why are you talking, right? I just think they can back it up now, Ryan. So
100%.
All respect and full marks to the American team.
Again, don't get so excited like you won the tournament yet.
Part of it, that's key.
I'm keeping cool.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not
like Cody and Vince here.
That's
right.
It takes it to a different level.
Comment section. Some of you are acting like you won the whole 4 Nations and the Olympics all in one game.
And you know why Nick doesn't want to drop by?
Being a Cowboy fan, I've learned my lesson years ago.
Cash.
Yeah. No, 100%. But I mean, it was just a cool experience for sure. It's like, I'm so happy that so many people now are going to be invested in this 4 Nations in hockey, and hopefully it just grows the game very, very much.
Question: can we stop the narrative of, oh, I don't want our players getting hurt? You know, I'm afraid of our teams getting this many players. Like, bro, this is so worth it. Like, watching this tournament has like gotten even people that in my other group chat that are somewhat Panther fans are like, oh my God, this is like more intense than a playoff game. Like, I told you.
Ryan and I tried to say this for about 4 or 5 months on Spaces. It was in our second hour, Caesar, when we had a lot of questions. We're like, okay, let's talk some 4 Nations stuff. People are like, I don't know. And we're like, just trust us, right? And Ryan, your passion really showed through with how you were like explaining to like our community, all the people on the replay and listen backs. It's like, if they were listening, some of those fans were like, yeah, I'm going to give it a chance, right?
For sure. And it's something where growing up, I would rather have an Olympic gold, or like I'd rather win with my country than just some team, because any team, it's a business at the end of the day. You're getting paid, they can trade you, they can cut you. Like they don't have that, you don't have that same connection. When you put on your country's flag, it's like you're not doing it to get paid. You're doing it straight love, straight passion, and that's your country forever. It's not like you just end up going to a new team in free agency. You have that loyalty that's a little extra, and I think that's just so much more.
And sorry, Ryan, to interrupt there. And I know we just won the cup, so some fans will push back against that, but we're like at the top example of like what community is like, and fan bases uniting together, parades, fan fest, all that. It's because we're going through the best of the best right now. But when you put on your country's, nation's colors and jersey, you get people coming up to you. NHL players, they're the most honest and transparent through when they're playing for their nation. Just like Dylan Larkin said that story there that I think he let leaked out. NHL players don't do that on a regular basis, talk about stuff that freely, right? So this is the most passion you get, the most transparency you get. Guys being like honest, giving their all, and we're spoiled. We're spoiled.
Interview with PK Subban when PK was like, "Would you play for Team Canada because your mother was a Canadian?" And he's like, "No, I actually love America more." And you guys can kind of.
I didn't love that.
Very disrespectful way.
I'm gonna speak like Carly did. I didn't love that as a Canadian, because you're putting down your mom's side of the family and different things like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. But hey, he did
Understandable.
it. He did it. He stood by it. I don't have to like everything. I don't have to love everything, right? So that goes both ways. But yeah, that's something I would have used for bulletin board material myself. But
it was also weird cheering for a guy to beat up Tkachuk, which I didn't expect to feel. And a lot of
I didn't do too much there with Hagel.
Which Tkachuk though? Which Tkachuk?
No comment. But a lot of my Edmonton friends, they were texting me too, and they hate Sam Bennett more than anyone else. And they were just like, "I can't believe I just cheered for Sam Bennett to beat someone else." And I was like, welcome to the bright side. Enjoy it while you can, because he's going to be beating you all up when the season starts again. So
I tried with Marner this week. I can't do it.
I think I asked her, how many times did I just scream at Marner? Yeah, I was like, "Mitch, you bitch, come on, do something."
Man, the guy's body language and everything, just so infuriating.
He was him and like maybe just him. He wouldn't finish a single check. Like he just looked out like he was not playing the right way.
But I felt like that for the nation of Sweden too, watching Petey out there too. So like,
no, exactly.
Like, come on, right? Like that's what got me going today.
And my Leafs friends are trying to tell me, no, Marner was good. It wasn't Marner's fault. I was like, be serious. Marner stood up Cirelli so many times. Cirelli was missing it. No. Marner was issue number one. So
if he's the fastest guy, one of the fast guys, he's not getting to pucks. It's like, come on now. I thought Kyle Connor had a better game tonight. We talked about him not having that great a game for US against Finland. I thought he was a bit better tonight.
No, for sure. He's not a fourth line player too. So it's like when you put guys in roles they're not going to thrive in, like what more can you expect?
Right.
But a guy like Tuna's mentioned, I don't like Brad Marchand, but I've respected his play here. I respected his play back in 2016. Like this dude's showing up, so I don't love him, and I know our fan base sees her. That's your like most hated. I'm respecting what I'm seeing from him. I'm not.
I respect him, but like the comment here with Chris over here, wishing Bennett to get hurt. I mean, honestly, if we lose Bennett, like we lose a big part of our team. Like his aggressive, the way he played. I mean, he didn't play great on the ice, but his physicality in the playoffs, I think it means more to the Panthers than a lot of people realize.
His presence felt, especially today.
But the LTIR thing, Caesar, again, just to get onto that, people are talking about adding someone to the roster. That player will be theoretically ready for game one of the playoffs. You have that guy for the playoffs. That's the old Vegas thing there. So
I just don't like
aren't wishing.
I don't like wishing injury upon players just because you never know when you're going to need them. I mean, we haven't clinched a playoff spot yet, and you never know what could happen with this team. So one injury could happen, and the next one, and the next one. So knock on wood that we don't get any injuries going into.
I don't want any injuries for any guys in this tournament. I know guys are going to get dinged up, but it's day to day stuff. Outside of that, I don't want to see like any type of serious injuries or things like that. Even the Shea Theodore injury, I don't know, Ryan, if it's like is it a broken wrist? Like, what's going on here?
That's another point about hockey that drives me nuts is the lack of transparency on injuries.
Oh, gosh.
You know the timeline.
That is so annoying. I hate it.
And I get why they do it because they don't want guys targeting if, like, hey, let's say
What?
Barkov has a right shoulder issue, and I don't want guys with
Yeah,
target.
but football had to stop doing that, Ryan, because of gambling.
Yeah.
They had to be transparent with the injuries, right?
Mhm.
So hockey promotes gambling. Why are you not now being transparent with it?
Yeah.
Good point there.
You watch Sportsnet, and it goes gambling commercial, Ozempic, gambling commercial, gambling commercial. Hey, game starts again.
Ozempic, gambling.
And then, hey, this period is sponsored by Bet99 or whatever gambling site is the one choice for their day. So
I guess this is the less popular take, but like I'm thrilled that America won and I'm going home very happy. But if Barkov was injured, I really wouldn't care. I would be pissed. I would be super upset. Like, I get what you guys are saying. Like, it's worth it or whatever to have the tournament, but like, I don't know. I guess I disagree.
yeah, like I'd sacrifice like Lusto, but like
when we were concerned there for a minute about Barkov, I was like, this
Everyone
whole
was
thing is a
concerned.
wash for me. If we lose Barkov, this whole thing is a
Oh,
wash.
I would have heard that for Card. That would be the thing I would have remembered. Tim, like he's
That
all
would've been
right.
like,
I was getting messages. People were adding me on Twitter, Carly, adding at Kirby, at Florida Panthers. Is Barkov all right? I'm like, let me look at it. Saw it on the replay in the intermission. He's fine. He did a soccer kick after the game. He said to Alex Baumgartner, 5 Reasons Sports. He said, I should stop playing like a soccer player out there. It's just a silly thing he did. Right. So it was like, after I saw it, I'm like, he's all right. It's going to
Or
stink.
Sam Reinhart. I would feel the same way about Reinhart.
Reinhardt got hit really, really hard at one point.
Oh,
It was like
Reinhardt?
he got hit up high in the head.
Yeah.
They had to adjust for that first 10 minutes because US, they were coming heavy and hard, and they had the puck, Canada, and they were coming at them. So they were the Crosby hit there where McAvoy put him down. Man, McAvoy had some
McAvoy was very dirty.
huge dirty, but yeah, you got the job done.
Even before today, that's like one of my least favorite players. in the
Oh,
league.
like
We saw a guy in the concession stand with a McAvoy jersey
Oh my
and a
God.
Rangers hat.
What?
Yeah, Rangers
Yeah,
hat, McAvoy jersey. I was like,
just a troll,
nightmare
man.
rotation, bro. I was done with. I hate this dude. I don't even know anything about you, and I was like, you're like my top 5 hatest person I've never talked to in my life. Like, I cannot stand you.
That's like Kirby and I wearing an Eagles hat while going to a Cowboy game.
We did like a double take.
I looked at him. I was like, there's no
What?
fucking way.
Oh my god.
Just wants attention. That guy just wants attention, probably. Being
Yeah.
a drinking.
There's a lot of people out there like that for sure.
Yeah, I was like, that's so.
Well,
have
at
some.
least on TSN tonight here, they're showing the Panthers winning Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, Ryan, for some reason. So that's nice to see. I don't know why they're showing it.
Hard really fast.
So that's,
There we go.
oh, there we go.
My boy.
Oh my
That's-
god.
It's my
Cody
guy.
the Caesars guy.
I bought these pins. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's neat.
Nice.
To go on my road trip jersey because they didn't have any patches.
Yeah, they lacked so much at the store. The store was so disappointing. It was like a 30-minute wait to get in, and it was crowded, and it was so disappointing.
Ryan, did you check into any other stores that might be in your vicinity or area? To
We
where you're-
went. We've gone to a couple like shops, and they had like lots of Montreal Canadian stuff, and we saw a few Panther stuff too, which is cool. Like we saw they were selling like Panthers mini sticks and pucks, which is cool.
Sometimes you can get stuff there where you can't get it at the team shop. Or
Yeah, but no, everything I've looked for, I haven't seen a single Cale Makar thing.
Wow.
Unfortunate.
Guys, I'm crushing. So I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, we'll wrap here. I was kind of
Yeah.
looking to wrap here. We've been going for almost 9 minutes. So appreciate you guys coming in right from the start. This has been great here, Caesar.
It was
no
very
problem.
Yeah, it was so
Thanks.
convenient for us because the Bell Center connects to like our hotel underground, so we didn't have to go outside or anything. It was like right after the game, within like 2 minutes.
You guys are ready before us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Next week, Four Nations talk again because it'll be. We'll talk about everything how it finished out, Caesar, because it'll be
Yep.
third championship.
And we'll let you guys know if we'll come on either live on Thursday or after the
yeah.
depending on who's playing and what's everybody's vibe. I just hope
Yep.
it's both Canada and USA, just so we can get the viewings and
Yeah. I might come on for the post game. I don't know if I can do the live stream on that one.
oh come on, Kirby.
That's something.
There's no way I could do a live
I
stream.
gotta hear everything. on there. But I'll be your winner. I'll be your win or lose if we're going live. So.
For sure.
Or
But,
states, whatever we decide.
Right? But no, thanks again, guys. Make sure
Yeah.
you like and subscribe on the page. Thanks, Carly, Ryan. We had an awesome time here. Thanks for giving us your experience. We loved it
Us.
for sure. So we'll see you guys next week. Let's go Cats and let's go Team USA.
Go Canada.
There you go, Ryan.
What's up, Cats and Rats fans? If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button before you head out. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. And just like always, let's go Cats!